Hello and good morning, good day, dear goddess. My name is Rochelle Richard, and welcome to this week's bi-weekly check-in for our Super Sign Sunday Divine Feminine Energy Update and Empowerment Message. Yeah, this is what we're doing around here. Again, my name is Rochelle. Welcome to Empowerment Experiences, where we are healing twin flames, healing the inner child, healing our wounds, our traumas, and breaking free of any traps from the twin flame trap and all of that, which is ego attachment, self-sabotage, and unworthiness. We're breaking free of all that. Looking for and finding our power all along this, which is each our own self-love empowerment journey. And I reiterate, for those who may be new around here, a twin flame journey is very, very much rooted in being a self-love empowerment journey. So if that is you, goddess, welcome. Welcome. I am so excited to have you here. This is just speaking to me. It's a flower agate, and it's just, I loved this. I got it this year at the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show when I went down there, and it was such an amazing time. I just am so called. I saw that sitting there, in its little spot that it has there, and I just had to give it a couple seconds of fame, shall we say, because, just stunning, isn't it? I just love that. Yeah. So, with that, let us dive right in. So come with me into the forest for more than the trees. Let's discover and embrace all this intuition sees. Together we shall come to know that which we need to reclaim our goddess power on this divine journey indeed. Ooh, and it's been a wild ride this week with this full moon. Holy moly. Lots of intense emotions, and that moon is so intense in its light, in its brightness, that I truly, this morning on the day I'm recording this, which is actually on Friday, right before this is to be published, I saw light, such bright light, peeking through the tops of my blackout curtains that I thought, this morning, I thought it was already like 6:30. No, it was, so not 6:30. It was about 5:15. So definitely not late enough in the morning yet for there to be any sunlight. Lo and behold, it was the moon. It was the moonlight that was so bright. So I opened up my curtains and I just laid right back there on the bed as the moonbeams just poured directly onto my bed. It was so magical this morning. And of course, there was some emotion that came through that, and recognizing why yesterday was just so intensely emotional through certain parts, right? Because that is our purge. That is our natural filtration system to help us to release things that are trapped within us, right? And as we continue this healing journey, which is a perpetual healing journey, a perpetual self-love empowerment journey, as we continue, we will then, of course, continue to experience these purges and these releases, because we're creating space for us to expand into and to receive that which we have been asking for. Although right now it can feel very, well, again, the word is intense. It can feel very intense, where you can feel what you would normally not feel a big deal about and not get so worked up about, but right now, things are hitting you different, right? They're hitting you slightly different. Oof. Wow. As those go flying, it's because we are liberating ourselves. This freedom. You are the one, and this card just, just gives me so many chills because that's my baby. That's my baby. And the Pegasus energy has been so big for me this morning as well, and last night, doing some of my own inner healing as well, reconnecting with when my Pegasus pal first really made itself known to me, and all of the most intense times of my life when I knew it was there for me. And this is what we would do. This is what we would do, is transcend, rise above, go take flight, and let the heavy things be where they are. Just let it be. And let yourself live wild and free, just like that says. We talk so much over here about looking for and finding your power. And it gets reiterated over and over. And why is that? Because we have created our own mental prisons by having things repeated over and over and over in our minds. I was just speaking with someone who, well, my OG soul sister, I call her. We've been soul sisters. We were using that term before it was so prevalent. I hadn't heard anybody else use soul sister for years after we started using that. I digress though. 22 years we're at, her and I. And she was sharing with me about a young lady who came over to live the American dream, leaving socialist countries and in communist countries to come over here and live free, live in freedom for herself and build the life she wants, take that full responsibility for herself. And oh my goodness, hearing what my OG said to me, this young lady that she met, 19 years old, taught herself English when she got to the States by listening to music. So she is the one who facilitated her own freedom. She took that responsibility for herself, what she needed to do, how she needed to be, what she needed to learn in order for her to step into that, and of course what she needed to release in order to liberate herself into greater freedom. This is what we're being asked, and I get, because right now with, again, this whole energy, this moon, intense energy amplifying things, I get that it's also bringing up some old shit, right? Because that's what we're doing, where we're reconnecting with other things and closing out those timelines, right? From things that we may not have thought about for a very long time. But that's because we're having to revisit these spaces and places so we can liberate ourselves from them, so we can be truly free to live the lives that we desire to be living. And that requires self-responsibility. See, anybody who lives in that programmed, because it's a programmed mentality that's so obvious to those who can see, of needing to put your power in the government or in someone else to take responsibility for you and your responsibilities. It can feel as well, it can feel so heavy to awaken to that, to truly be awakening to, oh wow, this is really actually on me. This, I must have responsibility for myself and creating what I truly desire to be living. If you want to be healthy, then you need to take that responsibility for yourself to learn how to be healthy and do the things, be in that space, immerse yourself in that energy, in tools, in practices that are going to empower you into stepping into this liberated space for you to be living your liberated life. It's so fascinating that this card comes through, because you're going to be angry. There's so much, and there's just exactly that. There's so much anger right now in the collective that is just boiling over. Some of it righteous, some of it self-righteous indignation, right? They're very different. And it's reaching that point of being able to say, wait a minute, discern from where that anger is coming from, and allow yourself to honor the anger that is telling you that you deserve better than how you have been treating yourself. You deserve better than what you have been allowing for yourself to allow for your experience. We, each and every one, are responsible for ourselves. And there, again, the anger that I feel right now, so much is so amplified in the collective when you see, and it's been, just building and building and building these past couple years. And it's just because these are all things that we have been programmed to repress, to ignore, to not address, to, I know for me, avoiding confrontation, right? I don't want to have that conversation. But it's realizing that the only way that we can truly take responsibility for the reality that we create, both for ourselves and within the collective as a whole, we have to be able to have these difficult conversations, and we have to be able to drop all of our pretenses, all of our facades, all of our, cognitive dissonance that disallows someone the freedom to view the experience from a detached perspective. And by that I mean, here is a tip that I recommend you for what is unfolding on the grand stage of this world, because it's going to get crazier. It is. Expect it. It is this. Recognize, number one, that we are all participating in a soul school. And it's akin to, we enroll, we come into this world, we forget that part, right? And then we become so attached to the physical reality that in turn has taught the majority to be, think, act, and behave in certain ways and believe in certain ways that are really at their root divisive. And this whole experience is to allow for our soul's growth and strength training in developing and cultivating the connection with each other, and of course with ourselves and within ourselves, to transcend the illusions of this reality, and actually, instead of being so in it, especially when it's in this space, and it's because anger is a lower vibration. It's definitely higher up than blame and shame and guilt and of course just depression. There's much more power in anger than any of that, than despair. And I know how it can have moments right now where we feel that despair. But this is about you being able to recognize for yourself that, I see in the collective the amplification of especially such things like this. But then when you come back, when you can take that step back and allow yourself to see that, wait a minute though, all of this is teaching me something. It's showing me something. What is it teaching me? What is it showing me? So when you look at what is transpiring on the grand stage of this world, and you've been taught to look at the character playing the role, rather than detaching, and this is why this is such a perfect image for us, rising above and giving yourself a more of a bird's eye view so you don't see the characters. Instead, you see the role that the character's playing. So each character is playing a role right now. And when you can begin to allow yourself to see the roles being played rather than the characters playing the roles, then and only then will you truly begin to see the truth of this reality on a much greater scale. You will be able to then detach from the character perspective and start to look at the role being played, and in turn will allow you to see the reason for that role. The character is irrelevant in the play. It's the role that they're playing that matters in the play. See? Because regardless of the character, you could never have the whole picture of it, of who that is and what that character is truly about, the whole picture. But when you can take a step back and allow yourself to see a bigger picture, you then see the roles being played, and you can then start to connect the dots and see that this is also being fueled intentionally by certain roles that are being played by particular characters. I know, it's kind of crazy there. It's a whole little roundabout way, right? That's what this is, Goddess. It's about breaking free, rising above whatever situation may be in your life, and to detach yourself from the stories that have been created about the characters, and actually instead, and this again has to do with the grand stage, and it has to do with your own little personal stage in your life, be letting yourself see where this anger is coming from. Is it really actually from that liberating space? Or is it being used as a weapon of manipulation through the characterization of those playing the roles? Because if you can't see the roles being played, then how can you see the whole of what is unfolding? If you're so honed in and so tunnel visioned on one thing, then you are literally closing yourself off from all the other, from knowing, from experiencing, from having all these other things. This is a wild message today. I'm like, even I'm sitting here going, wow. Please drop in the comments. Let me know that you're getting this. This is making sense and it's resonating with you in your life. Or again, looking at the grand stage of what's unfolding. Because I've spoken with a couple goddesses lately, and I'm so grateful there are more and more who are awakening, who are shifting into that awakening timeline and now seeing and are ready to look past the characters playing the roles and begin to see the roles being played, which that again puts you in a whole different perspective to then see what they're not wanting you to see by having you focus on the character rather than focus on the role. And this is what narcissists do. This is what abusers do. That's what they do. Distract, right? So. Oh. And that's what this is about. healing. As we said, healing twin flames, healing the inner child, healing our traumas, our wounds. We're healing these programs and cycles right now as someone who lived her whole life. And this is why, and I challenge you to look at some of your major life themes, your major programs that have been running in your mind, such as mine, which if you've been around for a minute, one of my lifelong ones is the mistake program, right? That victim mentality, which has been being amplified to infinite proportions right now. The victim mentality, infinite proportions right now. So the victim mentality of that being born a mistake, that is so amplified right now. And for me, here's the truth of it, of course, that was being amplified in me this last year, and it's been building and building and building until it was like this whole burst recently of just these little yet big, like a whole big cluster of little clusters of eruptions of aha moments of going, oh my goodness, no wonder I am feeling this so much right now after having had this program in me for my entire life of being born a mistake. God made a mistake. Now I encourage you to, again, step back from any characters in your life that may be playing particular roles and look at the role. Are there people in your life, perhaps especially young children, who are saying that they're born a mistake? They were born wrong? The very root of that is self-loathing. And as one who, again, lived her life in this program, I know it. I know this program. And that's what I've been healing, is the mistake, the self-loathing. Because if you believe you're born a mistake, then you better believe you loathe yourself. Deep down at your core, there is that part. So any of those loved ones that you love in your world who are starting to consider that they were born in the wrong body or whatever that is, recognize that that is the self-loathing program. That is the I'm born a mistake, which says God fucked up. The universe messed up with me. Believe me, I know all of this. I know all of these spaces of what it is to start to believe you're a mistake. And then by the time I was 18, I was telling people I was a cosmic joke. And then by the time I was 23, 24, I was being pimped out and I was addicted to drugs. So you see what that line of thinking leads to. But I've had to go through all of that and break out of that to now be all these years later, many years later, where I am now, yet still though experiencing the remnants of this program, which of course ignites so much anger. But we, as the healers, as the leaders, as those who are claiming our freedom, we are the ones who lead by example with how to safely and healthily, if that's a word, to express your anger in a healthy manner. Because you do need to express it. You have to get that out, because otherwise this is what we have, where things are erupting and boiling over. And if you don't ever release it or get it out, then all of that anger, all of that toxicity truly becomes dis-ease within yourself, which means you then start to get sick and experience ailments. But as a healer, you have all of the power and capacity to not just heal yourself, but to impact and influence the healing of others. Because you don't heal another. They are the ones who heal themselves. And I am all of a sudden feeling, right in this moment, to grab an angel number here. Kind of tie all these together here. 711. Oh, it's not on that one. It's on this one. Let's get my right little device here. Angel number 711. Listen to your inner instincts and wisdom. Let your intuition lead you. Pay attention to your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. Rid your life of negativity, fear, and old sabotaging beliefs. Oh my gosh. Mistakes are lessons. I'm going to show you. Mistakes are lessons. Now, in the context, right? Because I made this, right? So you can imagine when I created this. So what happens when you are validating yourself as a mistake, or when you're validating another as them, in their belief that they're a mistake, is that then bleeds into everything you do wrong is a mistake. It's bad. And that just perpetuates the self-loathing. It perpetuates the self-depreciating behavior, deprecating behavior, where you intentionally at times do things even consciously to sabotage yourself, but you do it unconsciously all the time. Because you have been taught to believe. And when I say you, I say I went through this, and it's reaching this, finally had to reach this point in my life where I had to say, wait a minute, but all of this has come up recently as though it's all fresh, right? It's all happening again. And I had to really check myself and look and go, wait a minute. When you are validating that mistakes are bad, then that just feeds the perpetuation of detrimental behavior, of self-loathing, of self-sabotaging, and of course, unworthiness. When we can actually begin to shift our perspective and say mistakes are lessons, and I don't learn if I don't have lessons. And so if I believe, though, that I'm a mistake, well, I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn and grow, expand and ascend. And maybe it's not that I'm the mistake at all. My twin flame, when we first met, it was online. We would watch YouTube videos, music videos together, and he wanted me to watch a Bollywood movie. He just insisted on it so much. And he wanted me to tell him all about it when I was done. So after 3 hours of reading subtitles and bawling my eyes out, going from anger to despair to frustration to love, oh my God, to joy and happiness, just the whole gamut of emotions, we get towards the end of the movie, and I had this whole beautiful download. Because the movie is about a child that was born as a mistake. Oops, an accident. And I needed that. That's what our twin flame does, is really, truly help us to see what we really, really need to see within ourselves. And the quote that downloaded with that movie was this: in every perceived mistake can be found a divine blessing. I say that again. In every perceived mistake can be found a divine blessing. And as I say that, It is 927, and 927 is a very profoundly powerful angel number as well in my world. So it looks like we're going to have two numbers today. So with that quote, in every perceived mistake can be found a divine blessing. What I mean, or what is meant, clearly, to translate, is in every perceived mistake. Well, they're all perceived mistakes because the word mistake itself has been given such negative connotation, and it's made to be so heavy. We've made to be wrong for learning. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong for learning. You're not wrong for being here. There is nothing wrong with you, period. So with that, 711 says there's no such thing as coincidence. All are synchronicities. And we definitely abide by that around here. Focus on your spirituality and your spiritual abilities, because Goddess, that's where your soul space is. So come back home to you and your power, because you are evolving. That is 711 as well. You are evolving. You are transcending from this old space and place and way of being and arising into a more empowered, more broader perspective of your journey, of your experience here. And last but of course not least, 711 tells us to choose to be happy. Because yes, it is a choice. Everything that we choose, and look, the very first thing on 927, important decisions. So we are always being given a choice. And I got reminded of this yesterday. From someone I just adore. I look up to her. She's just, wow. Even when on the days when I don't believe in myself, she is always there to make sure that I know that she does. But we are always being given a choice to choose to heal, learn, grow, expand, ascend, or to stay where we are, to marinate in that anger space, to allow ourselves to be caught up in, again, the story of the characters, rather than looking at the roles the characters are playing in the story and go, wait a minute, something's not adding up. And allow yourself to see the things that your mind would rather not let you see, because it's going to create within you, well, discord. That's the word that's coming up. It's going to create within you this discord, because you're going to have to look at that space and go, but wait a minute, that's what I was taught though. But that doesn't mean that it's true. So 927 tells us again, we have important decisions. Every moment we have an important decision. What are you going to choose? 927 is about passion and love. Harmony. 927 says you have all you need to make the right choice for you. Goddess, what is the right choice for you? Take a breath. Here is a journal prompt today. Take a breath and close your eyes, and that thing that you are saying to yourself, I don't know what to choose. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have all you need to make the right choice for you. So let yourself feel what you need to feel. Allow yourself to receive the information that you need to receive. It doesn't mean that it's going to be something bad if it appears on the surface as bad. And by that, I mean that if oftentimes, again, when we're experiencing, well, our original beliefs that we've been taught and programmed to believe, when our ego feels threatened by that familiarity and that comfort zone, it doesn't want to move into the unknown. It doesn't want to make the choice that is going to take it away from that comfort zone. And this is why we so often find ourselves teetering, going and in that paralysis analysis state of going, I don't know what to do. And it's because you are being asked to do something that's scary. Aren't you? So let yourself see what you need to see. And if you would like, I'm definitely here for a one-on-one session. I will drop that link down in the description below, of course. And we can work through this fear and what actions you need to take to step into this unknown, this unfamiliar space, in spite of the fear. 927 says to cultivate balance in relationships. And this, of course, begins first and foremost with that relationship with yourself. Be you true as only you can be you. And that's why that relationship with yourself is the most important. You are always on your path, in always the right place. Okay? Regardless of being in that state of I don't know and feeling the pressures, you're still in the right space. All right? And last but of course not least, again, 927, slow, steady, and all in divine timing. I know there can be times when we feel as though we're so late, we're so behind, we're not going to have enough time. And maybe that's one of the reasons why you're afraid to allow yourself to see your next step. Is because your mind is telling you, but that's going to take so long to get there. It's going to be arduous and exhausting and it's going to be so hard. That's the ego. She is such a party pooper. So instead, what if you had a little chat with her and you said, but wait. You don't know what's down there. You don't. And you can even remind that part of you and say, remember when we didn't know what was there, but we went and oh my God, it was amazing. Like, hello, what comes off to my mind at the very top and probably always will was going to India, to the other side of the world with me, myself, and I to meet him over there. A 30-hour one-way journey each time. Each way. It was both scary and exhilarating all at the same time. But I didn't know what was there, and you better believe, Goddess, my mean girl, ooh, my ego wanted to. She had all sorts of reasons why that wasn't a good idea and why we shouldn't go. And in spite of all of the anger and through all the healing that I have done in the last 4 years since that, it's been so perfect. It's been perfect in the sense, and I can't believe that just came out of my mouth, and I did not even know that was coming out of my mouth to say it's been so perfect. And that would be my soul to say that it's been perfectly the way it was supposed to have been because of all of the healing and the growth and the learning that has happened. And that had I not let myself go that way, I wouldn't have experienced any of it, and it wouldn't have been so much the best fucking thing, I swear, in my life. Like, wow, I went to the other side of the world starting from nothing, no passport, no money saved. I had no plans for a trip. To not only go to India, but return, do the entire thing, including get my passport and everything in less than 90 days time. Less than 90 days time. But that's because I kept walking through the doors. I kept allowing myself to step into the unknown, and release whatever anger, whatever part would want to come up and sabotage that experience. So let yourself see. Let yourself see that perchance that is the shortest distance. Remember, Abraham teaches us that your inner being knows the shortest distance, the path of least resistance to get you to where you want to be. But you have to get out of your own way and let yourself see what you need to see in order to go be where you want to be. All right, I know we're pushing time here today, but I'm just feeling this for our Super Sign Sunday. And let's grab us a Power of Surrender card here just to see where we have that. Just so in this space today. Ooh, wow. Oh, more confirmation right here. Surrender to your intuition. Just as our angel numbers were telling us, tune into your intuition more. Surrender stress, right? Stress is truly self-created, all right? We are the ones, again, when you're in that space of, I don't know, you are creating that. And right, this entire message today, the overarching energy is about taking responsibility, full responsibility for yourself and your experience. And when you begin to truly understand that you create this, then you can begin to recognize that you can then choose to be happy, choose to focus on the things that cultivate happiness within you. And when you do that, that is you, in turn, aligning yourself and stepping into more of your power of your intuition, your inner voice. Because you're in receptive mode. When you're stressed, you're constricted, you're closed off, you're pinched off. But when you're happy, when you're receptive, when you feel good, you're relaxed, which means things can flow. And that means then you can know what you claim to not know. Oof, I like that. So surrender to your intuition and surrender that stress. Let's see where we're going to do. There we go. All right. So with that, goddess, oh my goodness, I loved today's message, and I really, truly intend that you did too. Like I said, make sure to let me know what resonated, any aha moments and such things, what your anything that comes up for you. And with that, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you so truly much. And I'm so excited. I'm almost to 400 subscribers and you all are amazing. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is really happening. Building my YouTube channel. What? So exciting to be connecting with all of you. And it's just surreal. It is. It's just like, wow, this is really happening. This is so cool. As well as, remember that group I was talking about recently? Yeah, more details on that, especially with this one little tidbit. It officially opens on Tuesday, 4/1/1. The Rise and Thrive Tribe Ascended. So come join Sister Goddesses on this journey with you that are also looking for and reclaiming their power on this self-love empowerment journey, this twin flame self-love empowerment journey. All that is each our own journey of self-love empowerment. Come join us. With that, as I do, and as you will come to hear a lot more when you join the tribe, the power is in your hands, Goddess. The power to take full responsibility for the experience that you are creating here. That power is in your hands. You are strong enough for that. You are capable of that. Because that power has always been inside you. Namaste.